The next speaker was intended to be Jessica Jane Robinson on her personal carbon calculator. Jessica had a family emergency yesterday, and so pinch hitting for Jessica will be Ruth Abbe, who is well known to many of you here. Ruth is a zero waste practitioner and serves on the board of directors of Resilience Birthright, which is Jessica's company, I think. She will be pinch hitting for CEO Jessica Jane Robinson. Jessica is an actor, writer, and passionate advocate for the environment. She created Resilience Birthright to inspire people to take action in the climate crisis and strive for zero waste. But here's Ruth channeling Jessica.
Hey everybody, I'm so delighted to be here to talk to you about the carbon calculator. I get to talk a little bit about the origin story, and then hopefully if everything works out technologically, you'll get to hear from Jessica about some of the details about how it works. So Jessica serves on the board of directors of Northern California Recycling Association and has been a director for over 8 years. She was the treasurer, and she's been a faithful supporter of NCRA values, but she doesn't really come from our movement. I mean, she is an actor and a writer and a director and a singer, and so she brings a different perspective to our work. And she really saw an opportunity with NCRA to promote zero waste using that hero origin story. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. Jessica is, as I say, she comes from a background of acting and directing, and she's had this long trajectory of focusing our work in zero waste and promoting that in different environments, including at the community level, and particularly with schools and school children to inspire them to take on the zero waste movement and zero waste messaging. And the whole background of the carbon calculator was really a discovery story of Jessica's when she was running for Miss California. So one of her platforms when she ran for Miss California back in 2010 was to keep compostable organics out of the landfill. What if she had won? You know, I mean, like, hey, but she ran for Miss California. She did not get to be Miss California, but she got to be Miss Alameda, and she used that platform in Alameda to really inspire the local community to embrace zero waste and organics out of the landfill. In Alameda, we'd had compost collection from restaurants for over 10 years. 2000, 2001, it first began. When she did her project with the Sierra Club called Miss Alameda Says Compost, they weren't really working on it. They weren't really diverting organics. The restaurants were not involved. You can say no to a recycling coordinator, you can say no to a service provider, but you can't say no to Miss Alameda. And so she was able to successfully convert over 60 restaurants to recycle and compost. And that was way back in 2011, 2012, before now we have it mandatory. So thank you, Jessica, for doing that. But one of the things she really discovered that was a motivator for her and for the restaurants was the greenhouse gas reduction potential of organics collection. And we all know now, SB 1383, the Global Warming Solution Act, is kind of trite for us, but way back then, it was a process of discovery. And so during that time that she recruited those restaurants into the program, that was a huge motivator. So she decided to use that information using the US EPA WARM model and other references to create a carbon calculator that would be accessible to folks. Because how many people have used the WARM model, right? It's a little tricky. You know, you got to know Excel, you got to, you know, there's something. So, and you get some results that are kind of cool. So what Jessica has done working with her team is she's made that into an accessible platform. And she uses that to inspire students and communities to go for the next level on greenhouse gas emissions reduction. Part of that story was to become educated in the climate as well. And so she did train with Vice President Al Gore on the Climate Reality Project. And she's always been among the top 1% of climate reality certified communicators to have done the most outreach and education around climate. So really taking the zero waste message, taking her work with NCRA, bringing it to a larger stage and focusing on climate. So now I'm going to introduce you to the carbon calculator. And here we go. Oop, that wasn't it. Try it again. Oop, there we go. Okay, there we go.
Birthright Incorporated Earth Warrior Carbon Calculator, where you can track your environmental sustainable actions that help move the collective towards zero waste and addressing climate change. Here at Earth Warrior, you can create your own account, join communities, and take on call to actions, personal or group-based. The Earth Warrior feature will track your sustainable actions and calculate the carbon reduction equivalents, as well as add your participation to the collective. You can be a movement by yourself, but when you join the collective resilience birthright family, every action becomes a force for healing the planet.
Okay, now here's the next one. Yeah. And here's the point about this protocol. So again, it's based on science. It's based on US EPA, warm model, and other resources. A lot of research through Jessica's team has gone into this, and it's been peer reviewed. But the collective action, as Jessica pointed out, is even stronger than the individual action. And so what the calculator can do is you can join as a community, you can join as a neighborhood, you can join as a family, and you can join as a school or a classroom. And that's really where it's been deployed mostly. The carbon calculator origin story was also long. Jessica conceived of it back when she was working with the restaurants back in the middle part of the last decade, and was able to get grant funding and then supported it through her own fundraising over a 5-year period. And so the calculator was launched in 2019, has been used successfully for over 3 years. And so now we know it's been tested, beta tested, and now usable for schools, communities, and individuals.
Create button to log your sustainable actions. You can identify whether your actions are in a community space or a public space outside your existing communities. When you select a community for your action, you will be giving that community the action credit as well. There will be a list of actions from picking up litter, recycling, compost your food scraps after a meal, reusing bottles, utensils, straws, refusing single-use disposable items, walking, biking, carpooling, and more. Once you submit, your actions will be calculated by the number of carbon metric tons avoided from entering the planet's atmosphere and quantifying the equivalence of the number of cars removed off the road, tree sequestration, energy saved, and more. Thank you for becoming a peaceful Earth warrior.
Now, there are other carbon calculators, of course, on the market, and there are ones that are focused at the community level, and communities are paying thousands of dollars to aggregate the information community-wide. This carbon calculator is free because it's from a mission-driven organization. Resilience Birthright is a 501c3 nonprofit, and it is providing this tool as a gift to the community. So let's see.
One of the features on the Resilience Birthright Earth Warrior Carbon Calculator is that parents can create accounts for their children under their main account. And by doing that, you just go under the person icon and you will see my account and add sub-account. The add sub-account feature will allow a parent to create sub-accounts for their children. So if you're a parent and you have 3 children going to the same school and you have an Earth Day challenge that you want to have all your children participate in and they all want their own separate stats, you can give each child a username and give them an age. After you fill out all of the criteria, you just hit create and you will have a sub account. And as an example, I can show you my sub account, which is an account that I have for my dog, Amigo Lee. And when I click on Amigo Lee's page, you will actually see that he has his own stats on the carbon calculator. So the sub account feature is right here, and it will allow you to add extra accounts under one email account.
And quite amazing that Amigo Lee, Jessica's dog, is able to pick up litter and, walk instead of take the car. So that's also good. Okay, last but not least, this is a message from Jessica, who couldn't be here. She is our homegrown NCRA hero. She's the superhero resilience birthright. She does appearances. She supports our work in another setting. And just a last little message from Jessica here.
To be an Earth warrior means to stand up for life on the planet in peace and love and integrity, to stand firm for what we believe is right, to protect our clean water, air, the animals, the trees, the plants, the marine life, all life on this planet, because we need everything to be in balance so that we may also thrive. To be an Earth warrior means to stand in love and integrity and in peace to defend our home.
And you can see the URL for the Resilience Birthright carbon calculator. I invite you all to join and sign up your family, sign up your dog, and see how much carbon you can reduce. So thank you very much. Anybody have any questions that I might be able to answer? Okay. And any questions online, David? No, good. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for the opportunity to present on behalf of Jessica.